Hi, this is Yaffi Lvova, registered dietitian nutritionist with Baby Bloom Nutrition, and welcome to Naptime Nutrition. There is some contingency who watch these segments for my fabulous earrings. You'll see there are none, and as much as I love you, I also love not waking up the baby, so no earrings today. Sorry, for those who care. So today we're talking about how to get the most from your visit to the doctor and cholesterol. So what do those two have to do with each other? Well, I had the unfortunate experience, well, fortunate and unfortunate. Fortunately, I was able to help someone. Hey, Paula. Fortunately, I was able to help someone this week who was very, very upset at her cholesterol levels. And in the end, her levels were perfectly fine. Her numbers all fell within ranges, but the doctor didn't describe to her what these results were. So I'm putting this in two parts. The first part is, how do you communicate with your doctor about results that you get? How do you communicate with your doctor about anything that's communicated during a visit? And the second is, how do you interpret those cholesterol results? Because cholesterol in particular is one that's very confusing. So first, as I said, Naptime Nutrition, Baby Bloom Nutrition, registered dietitian. I do Toddler Test Kitchen every Monday during the summer at the Hallie Hart Children's Museum, so come sign up, hhcm.org/ttk. And I do private and small group counseling for any of your nutrition obstacles between pregnancy and toddlerhood. Come join the conversation at Baby Bloom Nutrition, the Tasting Table, my group on Facebook, and we're having some good times talking about aquafaba today. Waiting for anyone to chime in and tell me what I should do with the bowl that I have. And also, I'm giving a free 30-minute consult to any current or past clients, even if you have my, hi Dr. Vitar, even if you have employed me through a gift certificate, you get a free 30 minutes, just come sign up. I will be creating the button. Yay, Paula. So Dr. Vitar has joined us in the comment section, so she's going to be watching what I say and commenting on it. So here is your tool that I'm giving you for your visit to the doctor. Okay, write it down, bring it in your head. What does this mean for me? How do I interpret these results? When your doctor tells you something, it's important to use it as a conversation. And that's not to say that we should come armed and ready to argue. The idea is that your doctor, the doctor you have chosen to trust, is knowledgeable in whatever he or she is telling you. And it's good to trust that knowledge, and it's also good to have an understanding of what they're communicating. Some doctors, maybe at the end of a long day or maybe at the end of a long number of years, kind of lose touch with how to communicate information with parents who may be nervous or, what have you. Even if you have a wealth of medical knowledge yourself, sometimes that goes out the window when the doctor's talking to you about your family. And I can tell you that from previous experience myself. I would be at the hospital interpreting results for patients all day, but I went to visit my father in the ICU and they're giving me numbers, and the same numbers I've been interpreting for other people meant nothing to me, and I had to ask for an explanation. And it's perfectly fine to ask for an explanation. If you have a question about growth charts, for example, a really common one, please reference my Naptime Nutrition I did completely on how to read growth charts. Sometimes people get very nervous. Oh, my child is a 5th percentile, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. And it's important to have a conversation with your doctor about that. If there's something that's, oh, thanks, Robin. If there's something that's confusing to you, bring it up with your doctor. They'll be able to talk to you about it, but they don't know that you're confused. This brings us to my next point, no Dr. Google. If you have a question for your doctor, ask your doctor, not Google, not your mommy groups, not me. And by the way, I will put this in right now. This is general health information. If you have any questions about your health, go to someone with your medical chart in front of them. And I don't have your medical chart in front of me, so I'm giving you some general information. So what I want you to take away from this part of the conversation is ask your doctor, what does this mean for me? Your child's in the 5th percentile? What does this mean for me? It may mean nothing. It may mean that you have, I have a degree from Google University, Paula says. Yeah, don't we all? So you really have to go to your doctor with those questions, and and your doctor will help you get through it and hopefully feel less nervous about whatever information comes across. Got that? Any questions? And hopefully Dr. Bitar is going to comment on something, because coming from a pediatrician, that would be great. I know that sometimes if I said something as a clinical dietitian and someone said, what does that mean? It just opens up the conversation, and the person is showing that they're interested, and they're not arguing. They just want to be part of the conversation. You want to do what's best for your family, and part of that is having an open line of communication with your doctor. If you feel that you can't have an open line of communication with your doctor, time to choose a new doctor, because you need to be able to trust the person who's in charge of your health. So next part of the conversation, cholesterol. Cholesterol is a fun one. It's been through the ringer over the past couple of decades. This causes high cholesterol, that causes high cholesterol. So what is cholesterol? Okay, well, what you may be thinking of as cholesterol are actually proteins. What? Mind blown. HDL and LDL, two types of cholesterol, are actually high-density lipoprotein and low-density lipoprotein. They are proteins that transport cholesterol to and from the tissues. HDL transports cholesterol from the tissue, and LDL transports cholesterol to the tissue. Okay, Dr. Bitar says, thank you for advising against Dr. Google. Even if I advise to Google something, I always ask them to go to our one and only Academy of Pediatrics. Yeah. So, and if the doctor tells you to Google something, then that's probably something that's safe to Google, as opposed to what is this rash, because that will always come back something you don't want to hear, and probably something highly inaccurate. Okay, so back to cholesterol. So why do we call HDL the good cholesterol, and why do we call LDL the bad cholesterol? Well, first I'm going to say I no longer call either of them good or bad, because, uh-oh, I think I heard a baby. Understanding what cholesterol is, you'll understand why it's neither good nor bad, and what it represents. So I want you to think of HDL and LDL as taxis. Okay, like not even taxis anymore, because we don't really have that many taxis anymore. We have Uber and Lyft. So let's just say that these are Uber. There are a lot of Uber drivers out there, right? And why are there a lot of Uber drivers? Because people need transportation. Okay, so if you have a lot of HDL cholesterol, it means that you have a lot of cholesterol that needs transportation from the tissues. Definitely heard a baby. If you have a lot of LDL cholesterol, it means that you have a lot of cholesterol that needs to go to the tissues. Why would it need to go there? What does cholesterol do? Cholesterol actually, it's like a Band-Aid on an inflammation or damage in the blood vessel. Stay tuned. I'm going to run and get a baby. Okay. This kid has 2 new teeth this week, so he was crying, but now he's very happy to see himself. Okay. So it's like taxis. If you have a lot of people needing rides, you're going to have a lot of those taxis. So HDL is like, good thing you were wearing a skirt. Ha! As if I was wearing nothing. Oh, come on. He thinks that was funny. So cholesterol is like a Band-Aid. When you have a blood vessel that has inflammation or some kind of damage on it, the cholesterol comes and is a Band-Aid on that. And when you have too much cholesterol, it could split and cause a blood clot, which then obstructs the blood vessel and can cause a heart attack. That's the link between cholesterol and heart attack. So blaming the heart attack directly on cholesterol is like blaming accidents on ambulances, because every time you see a car accident on the side of the road, there's an ambulance. Therefore, the ambulance must have caused the car accident. The logic doesn't hold up. So what's the deal? Well, since we now know that damage to the blood vessel and an inflammation is what really causes that need for cholesterol to come bandage it, now we know we need to look into what causes that inflammation. And that's where we're going to get into why dietary cholesterol really doesn't have much of an impact on your body cholesterol, if at all. Okay, so what is cholesterol? Cholesterol is processed in the liver. It's created in the liver. So any food that comes from an animal source will have cholesterol because the animal has the liver. Any fruit or vegetable does not have cholesterol. When they say like coconut oil has no cholesterol, yeah, because it doesn't come from an animal. Any animal source means that it's cholesterol. If it does not have an animal source, it is cholesterol free. So sometimes they use that against you and they're like, cholesterol free garbanzo beans. Yeah, well, come on. So cholesterol is actually necessary in the body. Not only does it help to cover over that damage in the blood vessels, but it's part of the cell membrane that makes your cells move the way that they're supposed to. So if we don't have any cholesterol, you really do have a lot of issues there. We do need cholesterol. So what do those numbers mean? We're given these numbers, and some of them are completely ridiculous. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. HDL, the high-density lipoprotein, the good, should be over 60. Your low-density lipoprotein, bad, should be under 100, and your total cholesterol is a complete crock. It's how can you add something that's good to something that's bad and expect that the total number is going to have any significance? It doesn't have any significance. So your total is supposed to be under 200. But let's say your HDL is really high. We want your HDL to be high. So if it's really high, that means that your total cholesterol is even higher. That doesn't make any sense at all. So let's just throw that out the window. What actually is important? Okay, high fruits and vegetables. The most recent research says 10 servings of fruits and vegetables per day is going to lower your risk of heart disease, of cancer, of... Dr. Batar says, I suppose unless it is okay in the thousands. You mean the HDL? Yeah, well, there have been some very, very rare cases of HDL being way too high and it causing like bleeding in the brain, but we're talking about like you said, in the thousands. So that's not really something that's possible with your standard American diet or standard American anything, or standard anything diet. So we want to lower inflammatory actions and inflammatory foods. What causes inflammation? Okay, well, smoking. Smoking causes inflammation. Refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not the devil. Really nothing is. No one single exposure to anything is really going to kill you. Okay, arsenic, too much arsenic, fine. You know what I'm talking about though. Normal foods that you would normally eat, nothing is going to kill you from a single exposure, aside from, certain allergies. Fried foods are going to cause some inflammation. A very high sugar diet causes inflammation. Red meat and trans fats. And I say trans fats with an asterisk. Did you know that human breast milk actually contains some amount of naturally occurring trans fats? Just something to keep in your trivia bank. So what promotes anti-inflammation? What decreases inflammation? Okay, exercise. You don't like exercise? Fine, do something fun. Walk around the block, do some yoga, do some Zumba. Anything that is moving your body is exercise, and that's going to help decrease inflammation. Anti-inflammatory fats, such as olive oil, walnuts, or any nuts really, avocado, fatty fish, flax oil, fiber, beans and legumes, veggies, flax. Again, we had flax oil, now we have the ground flax seed. Little known fact, well, more popular known fact, ground flaxseed is the way to go. Your body can't really process flax seeds in their whole form. Chia, also, make some chia pudding. Throw some chia into your oatmeal. Oatmeal's a good one too. Unprocessed whole grains, such as oatmeal, brown rice, and I did say unprocessed. Soy. I did a whole nap time nutrition on soy and the protective benefits of soy. Long story short, processed soy, such as the fake meats, are not necessarily great for you, but soy milk, tofu, these things are perfectly fine and have a protective effect against inflammation and certain types of cancer. Red wine, 3 glasses a week. Did I write week? I think I meant minute. Probiotics, keep your gut health in check, because if your gut is healthy, you're going to have less inflammation and fewer health consequences overall. So take a good probiotic. Also, good sources of probiotics naturally are sauerkraut, kefir, and kombucha. Take a fish oil. That's very anti-inflammatory, and especially if you're breastfeeding, it's a great source of DHA and EPA, which is great for mood regulation, gets through to the baby, and helps make them super smart and cute. Okay, yeah, he's cute. So that is the story with cholesterol. We do not have to worry so much about it. Cholesterol in your food is not going to affect cholesterol in your body. Your body will process it out. The problem is when you have a diet and a lifestyle that causes your body to produce more cholesterol than you need, which is through the process of inflammation. That inflammation causes damage to the blood vessels, which causes your body to produce more cholesterol because you need it in order to repair those blood vessels. So cholesterol, good thing, not too much. So that's nap time nutrition for today. I think next week we're going to talk about electrolytes. What are electrolytes? Come to Toddler Test Kitchen, hhcm.org/ttk. We are making dinosaur skin and crunchy garbanzo beans next week. And review. Come see me on Facebook. You are right here already. Pinterest, Instagram. And if you are or have been a client of mine, you get 30-minute consultation. Just contact me to set that up. And thank you so much, Dr. Buttar, for joining us. If you have any more comments, feel free to write them. I enjoy having you, and I will enjoy being a patient of yours come January. So see you next week, Nap Time Nutrition, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and I love to hear all your comments. Thank you.